I started here in 2005 as a beginning teacher, so I'd gone to Auckland Uni, and it wasn't until literally the last semester that we actually got taught about how we teach here. So it was like everything was all traditional, you do it this way, and then suddenly we got given this amazing, it was like a picture book of just colour and jumping out at you and children taking ownership of their learning. And I was like, that sounds cool, that's the type of teacher I want to be. Why have I been here for 3 years and just got this now? So it was Stanmore Bay School, and they were doing their own journey, I guess, of inquiry. So I then researched and found out that Gulf Harbour was looking for a position, and read there, obviously, their charge, their values, and was like, okay, this pretty much aligns with me, I want to go. So rocked up here and met with Deb, who was our DP at the time, and they'd almost filled the positions. They weren't actually looking for anybody else. But luckily enough, I obviously made a good enough impression and got hired. So then I started my journey here, and I wouldn't be the teacher I am today without this school and their values, but obviously then the inspiration that Lane's given where we've got our stuff from. So I love teaching, and I'm passionate about what we do, and I'm excited about what you see these kids doing. I kind of know you would have seen already this morning, just the opportunities and the life our kids have got with their learning. It's not, most kids are happy, they like coming to school, but these kids are really passionate about their learning and they're engaged in their learning, so you should have hopefully got that vibe. So when I first started, obviously beginning teacher, I was lucky enough I didn't have anything really to unpack. I was a new person, so my teaching, I guess, got moulded by being here, whereas if you've been teaching for longer, it's a little bit harder to get rid of those brain pathways of how we do stuff. Again, I was really lucky that in our first year, it was the second term, Lane did a presentation. So we went to school, and it was just like, whoa, okay, I've heard all this stuff from school, but this is this lady that just blabbered on an amazing speed. It was just like, whoa, okay, I want to be like her, but where do I start? And you want to go back to Lane straight away, but you can't. You have to go through her journey, and you have to do it step by step, and that's the biggest thing that I've learned, is that I tried to do it all in one go, but it falls apart. You don't see the success. The kids kind of go on the journey, but you don't get the knowledge, you don't get the file transfer, and the kids you're not doing the best for them. So then once I slowed down, I started in literacy. Margot came and did a PD session there were 4 resident DTs on poetry. On our version then, I guess we changed Lane's journey. We still followed it, we had a immersion, but we called it a knowledge attack. And we'd kind of watered down those first initial stages. So through literacy I managed to get the process, or basically I think a great process where you see, the first one I ever did was myths. So we're writing myths, so obviously we went through the whole, let's investigate myths and look at them and then come up with characteristics. And then they wrote myths. So I was just like, wow, that was amazing. Just, the kids could literally spout out to you what a myth involved, but not just the structure, but the imagery and the values, and I guess the critical thinking behind why the people wrote myths because of this process. We've done narratives to them before, we've done recounts already, but they didn't have that same, I guess, knowledge and that deep knowledge. So it's like, okay, now what do I do? So then my third term, I tried to do it all together. So we did, I can't remember what I called it, but it was, the theme of that year was making a difference. So we wanted to make a difference within our class. So I had lots of different groups doing different things. And they came out with amazing outcomes, but again, I'd rushed it. And they didn't have the knowledge that they picked up from the myths. They got a cool outcome, it looked great, but when you dug deeper, really, their knowledge wasn't there. So then we went through the journey of still following our own process, and we had lots of PD. And then for me, I hit a wall of the school at the time. We'd lost some of the other people that were big into the real life learning and had been here for Lane's initial journey in 1998. So for me, I was, I guess, one of those people at not the top, but was somebody that was doing it. And it was kind of like, great, she's doing a good job, let's get her to talk about what we do and etc. But for me, I was like, well, what do I do now? I know this isn't it, but we only could talk about the knowledge that we had as a school, and we didn't have Lane then at that point. And then luckily Margot came back on board with school, and then Lane came back. And so for the last 2 years, my journey, I guess, I started right back where I started. So probably 2008, I was doing bits, but not a lot. I was just doing normal teaching, using the brain-based learning, using your senses and all the values that I had, but the processes had gone. Until last year when Lane came back, and for me it was that kick up the butt of, what on earth have you been doing? You knew all the stuff, you were doing it, why are you doing it now? And so for me, I started on my own journey. So I started back in an immersion through Lane of immersing us again in her processes.